Well, good afternoon, YouTube. Dean Hanna here. This is the second video of the cluster rebuild. Originally, I had made all my clock gears. This is the cluster we were working on last time. And these are all made out of European beech. And I've discovered that European beech, although it's hard, it doesn't respond to humidity kindly in terms of what it should do as a clock. So I've started to replace the gears with Burmese teak. I've made the first one, which is in shaft 5, and that will be replaced in the next video. But while I took out shaft 5, I've got to basically take the clock apart, take the dial off, all the weights off and all that nonsense. I thought I'd check this out. This is called a cluster. This is the main shaft, shaft 4. This is what powers all the gears. And there was a problem with the cluster. On the end of the cluster, there's this chain ring, and that connects to the stepper motor, which winds up the weight. And as I wound it, I discovered there was just a tight spot every revolution or quarter revolution. And I found that this purple, the string drum, this Purple Heart had in fact swollen. So I took a bit off from the inside. The other thing I did is that this old splice, it's called a spline, whoops, just broke it, had a bit of I actually drew it incorrectly, and also decided to make it a bit thicker. And this is the new one, so I've upgraded that. I've also upgraded, the whole thing gets held together with these brass rods, right? And I don't know, I ran out of brass rods, so what I've done is I've replaced them with this one piece, and it's just a lot easier to put together. I was afraid that I would actually never get this thing back together. So what I've done is that I pulled it apart. I've documented how it goes together in a CAD. I've done exploded isometric, which I will probably include briefly, and to help me know how to get it back together. The holes, these holes here, these are a trident design. So they're not based on an equilateral triangle. One of the holes is not the same as the other one. So you cannot, I think there's only one mistake you can make when you put this together, and that is where the hole for the strings are, which we'll discover when I assemble it. Okay, look, let's just get into it now. I'll put this down. You can have a look at what I'm doing. Usually what I do when I start putting this back together is that I start with this one. This Purple Heart drum is called CSD1, which is chain side. I then put on this. I'm going to put in these longer screws. There's two lots of screws, that's the wrong way. And the longer screws go in this end. Okay. Okay, it goes here. Okay, that's not aligned properly. These have to go into these holes. They only go one way, which is probably a good thing. Okay, so the next thing is this ring here. Now this one has one of the string holes. I've designed it to be quick release, so you can put the string in after the clock's assembled. So if you want to change the strings, you don't have to pull the shaft out. That just slides on like that. There is a middle. Now at this point, I've probably put the brass things in. These should be pretty easy now. I'm not going to tighten them up. My dad and I used to pull we used to pull cars apart, or I used to a lot. And he taught me that when you reassemble things, don't tighten them up. Just everything in finger tight, then you tighten them up. It's one good lesson I've learned. Okay, putting this in. This is called the center. I don't know what I've called this. This is actually a a hard disk out of a computer. It's just a nice thing. And I've laser engraved a endless knot on it. On my, I think you can see the laser cutter. No, in the background, no, I've got a Thunder laser. It's pretty good for the price. It is enormous in terms of size. Okay, that. Now this next drum is where I can mess up because it can go either way, but this has to be, this can either go like that way, so with the string on the other side or the string together. I'm actually not sure, so I hope that I don't have to pull it apart. But what I'm going to do is decide to put it in the middle. And if I'm wrong, I'll have to change my documentation. Okay, so this goes here. Okay, so next one is the drum. This side. Okay, and then this hub. This is the rest of the Shimano hub. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but on the back of this nut, it says it's a Shimano Free Glide, I think it says. Shimano Hyperglide. So some of you people might know what that is. I don't know. It's just a wheel I found on the side of the road and I took a liking to it. So it's ended up in my clock. So that goes on there. Now these parts, in fact, are exactly a tight fit. So when I tighten it up, there's not a lot of pressure on these Purple Heart drums, but there is some. And these pins here should be flat, so that's it there. I'll probably have to wind that up a bit. Put this drum in. What I should do first is this. I'll put this drum in the back. This is the middle cog. Nope. Okay. Now I have assembled this wrong once with the long screws. The long screws don't belong in this end. They have to be this end. All right. Okay. So that now should go like that. Oh, that's pretty impressive. All right. Now I just cut these. Brought the brass rod yesterday and cut the holes and everything. So hopefully everything just screws together. Like I said before, this was like a nightmare. I had to use put this on my drill, and because the holes didn't line up and all this stuff. So that's not looking. It's looking annoying. It should now be biting that brass rod inside. Okay, that should be starting to bite. A little bit of space there. Let's see if this makes a difference. Now I'm going to turn it over. They're okay, they're tightening up, which is good. This one is okay. Okay, this one is still frustrating me a bit because it's not. Oh, that's actually good. All right. I don't want to over tighten it. I don't think there's any need for that. I want to tighten it up. So it is timber drum. Now that should be perfect. The other thing I did is that I tongue oiled. I sealed it all. So these strings are top and bottom. That looks right. Now we put this spacer in. Got a cluster spacer. This has probably got all the nuts in it. What I might do this first, do this. goes in here. Also tongue oiled this thing as well. Oops, I don't have my special Torx T30. I wonder where that's gone. Ah, here it is, Torx T30. This must be slightly threaded because it's this plate, which probably shouldn't be. No, that's that. That's the tightening up of that. Okay, that's that. That's that. Okay, so the last bit is this. Now it's got a small tooth somewhere. Here it is here. Should just slip over there. And this is the, I think it's called a cassette lock ring. And I have bought this tool some years ago. I've stuck it into this ring spanner. Like I've taken this off once in the last 5-6 years. It's never, I never do it. You know, it just never gets done. Okay, if you tighten that down, if all goes well, there's no metal grinding sound. The hub is sounding better. And what I need to do now is put this with its spacer. Can you see that? I hope you can see that. That was its spacer over there. Whoops, that can't go there. That should go down. It's going to go down. Don't want to press it. Let's have a look at why it's actually going down. That's it. It's a bit tighter than what that is, but that's okay. So that's basically it. That's the cluster. That of course is a spacer that goes in before it goes in the clock, and that's it. That's the cluster rebuild redone. I'm very keen to see how it goes, and this click sound should be spot on now from now on. Okay, thanks for watching.